that you are having a good day so far. So today we will be doing our grade 2 English lesson on subject verb agreement. So we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on subject verb agreement. And before we start with our lesson on subject verb agreement, we're going to log into aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged into aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts, grade 2. So once we've selected the subject of language arts, grade 2, as well as grade 2, then you're going to scroll down up until you get to the chapter of subject verb agreement. So subject verb agreement. So basically, our chapter is subject verb agreement. Our subject is English or language arts, grade 2. And the lessons that we are focusing on today is one or more than one, or not one or more than one, use the correct subject or verb, and pronoun verb agreement. So one or more than one, use the correct subject or verb, pronoun verb agreement. So that is going to be our lessons for today. And we are doing our lessons or our tutorial lessons on aplusstudents.ca. So if you do want to go back to recap, go over the things, over the subject, over the work that we did, you can go to aplusstudents.ca. And there we have the chapter, which is subject verb agreement, English language arts, grade 2, and the lessons that we are focusing on. All right. So now, when it comes to subject verb agreement, right? We see that there's either one or more than one to use the correct subject verb or pronoun verb agreement, right? So we have a singular subject and then we also have plural subjects, right? So we have singular subjects and plural subjects. And singular subjects, they name only one person, one animal, one place, or one thing. So singular subjects, it either names one person, animal, place, or thing. And when the subject is singular, right? And then we also need to use a singular verb. And remember the subject is either the person, animal, place, or thing that we are talking about within the sentence. Or that we are discussing within the sentence. And like we said, when a subject is singular, and then we also need to use a singular verb, right? And singular verbs, they end in either S, we add the S, or we add the ES. And an example is, Sarah visits her grandmother. Sarah visits her grandmother. So Sarah is, of course, a singular subject, right? Sarah, one person, which means that we're going to have a singular verb. So she visits, and it ends in an S. So she visits her grandmother. So Sarah visits her grandmother. And that is a singular subject with a singular verb. And the singular verb that ends in S. All right, another example is my cat washes her paws. So my cat washes her paws. So my cat being a singular subject, and what my cat does is washes, and washes ends in es, her paws. So with having a singular subject, right, we also have plural subjects. So we also have plural subjects, and plural subjects, they name more than one person, animal, place, or thing. So they name more than one person, animal, place, or thing. And when the subject is plural, we need to also use a plural verb. And plural verbs do not end in s or es. So plural verbs do not end in s or es. For example, Kyle and Jesse, just two people, right? They walk. We don't say walks home, they walk home. The flowers grow in the garden. So flowers indicates that there is more than one, and they grow. So we don't say the flowers grows in the garden. The flowers, they grow in the garden. So with plural subjects, we need to have plural verbs, and plural verbs, we don't add s or es. However, with singular subjects, right, where we name only one person, animal, place, or thing, we need to use a singular verb that ends in s or es. All right. So before we continue, we're going to go to aplusstudents.ca. We're going to aplusstudents.ca, and then we're going to do our tutorial lessons. And we're going to start with the first one that says one or more than one. And remember, we said that singular subjects, they name only one person, only one animal, place, or thing. And when the subject is singular, we need to use a singular verb. And the singular verb ends in s or es. So which means that if you're referring to one person, then it means that the verb is going to end in an s or es. That is one person either doing an action or one thing doing an action. And for example, Sarah visits her grandmother. And my cat washes her paws. And then we see it with plural subjects, right? Plural subjects, they name more than one person, animal, place, or thing. So they're naming more than one of those. And when a subject is plural, we use a plural verb. And plural verbs, they do not end in s or es. So plural verbs do not end in s and also does not end in. And we made an example of Kyle and Jesse walk home. The grow in the garden. So as you can see with the plural subjects, the plural verbs, they don't have an or an es. All right. So we're going to have to now look at the subject in bold. And you're going to say, does it name one person or does it name more than one person? Meaning, is it singular subject or is it a plural subject? That is basically what we are going to answer. My friends and I like funny jokes. My friends and I like funny jokes. Does it name one person or does it name more than one person? So my friends and I like funny jokes. Is it a singular subject or is it a plural subject? All right, so basically, my friends and I, right, we can say that it's more than one. So more than one person, and we say that this is a plural subject. So it's a plural subject. And it is basically making mention of more than one person. So it's a plural subject. My friends and I. All right. So does it name one person or more than one person? My aunts visit us every summer. My aunts If we say my aunts, are we referring to one aunt or are we referring to more than one aunt? My aunts visit us every summer. All right, so we can then basically say aunts is more than one. So more than one person, and then we say this is a plural subject. Because my aunts, meaning that we are making mention of more than one aunt. All right. Does it name one person or more than one person? Cole brings cookies with his lunch. Cole brings cookies with his lunch. Does it refer to one person or more than one person? So Cole is only one person. So Cole is only one person, so we're going to say one person. So it's a singular subject because it only refers to one person, which is Cole. And Cole brings cookies with his lunch. All right. So now we're going on to our test. We're going to write a little test based on one or more than one. So we don't need to say if it is more than one person or only one person that we're making mention of. So grandma and grandpa walk to the park. Grandma and grandpa walk to the park. Are we only making mention of one person or more than one person? Grandma and grandpa walk to the park. Is it one person or more than one? So grandma and grandpa. So this is more than one. And remember we say that if it's more than one, then it's plural. It's a plural subject. All right. Dale and I know the secret number. So Dale and I. So is Dale and I one person or more than one person. All right, so we basically say that Dale and I are more than one person, and that is a plural subject. Carl and Johnny, a band. Is that one person or more than one person? So Carl and Johnny, they sing in a band. We need to say if Carl and Johnny is one person or if it is more than one person. And we can say Carl and Johnny, they are more than one. So it's more than one. Nicole finds the eggs in the hen house. So Nicole finds the eggs in the hen house. So Nicole is that one person or more than one person? So we can say this is one. Nicole finds the eggs in the hen house, and we said it is one. The boys read every book by that writer. The boys, is the boy one person or is it referring to more than one person? The boys read every book by that author, that writer. So if we make mention of the boys, right, then it is definitely more than one boys. So we can say more than one. So the boys read every book by that winter. So they are more than one. All right, so now we're on to the second one, which is use the correct subject or verb. All right. All right, so we said that with our subjects, right, you can have a singular subject and you can have a plural subject. And a singular subject tells us about basically one person, animal, place, or thing that is doing the action, right? And then we have plural subjects, right, which refers to more than one person that is doing the action. So the subject and the verb in a sentence, it needs to agree, and that is why our chapter is subject verb agreement. So the subject as well as the verb within a sentence, it needs to agree. And now once again, we have a singular subject. So with singular subjects, right? It only refers to one person, animal, place, or thing. And when the subject is singular, we end it by saying is or is. So you end off your verb with is or is. And we made an example where we said Sarah visits her grandmother, meaning that if you if the subject is singular, right, then our verb will either end in s or e or s or es. But if the subject is plural, which refers to more than one person, we don't add s or es to our main verb. And we made an example also of the plural subjects. All right, so now we're going to complete the sentence with the best subject. Fishes on the lake. So, fishes on the lake. We need to basically complete the sentence with the best subject. So we can then basically say, Mr. Melton fishes on the lake. So we're only going to say Mr. Melton. Because remember we said that, you see here, fishes, it ends with es. Which means that we need to have a singular subject. Let's say Mr. Melton. So Mr. Melton fishes on the lake. And we specifically said Mr. Melton because a singular subject, right? It names one person, animal, place, or thing. And the subject and the verb, it usually ends in s or es. So Mr. Melton fishes on the lake. Signs or sings in a rock band. Sings. So in this case, our verb says sings, which means that our subject needs to be singular. So what sings in the rock band? Let's just say Alan Brody. So Alan Brody sings in a rock band. So it is a singular subject, and the singular verbs, it either ends in s or es. All right, last one. We need to complete the sentence subject. Plant seeds in spring. So we need to choose a word, a subject. Plant seeds in spring. All right, so we will say Shannon plants seeds in spring. So Shannon. So Shannon, basically, let's say Shannon and friends. So we can basically say Shannon and friends. And friends, they plant seeds in spring. So Shannon and friends, they plant seeds in spring. And remember we said with a plural verb or plural subject, we do not add an s or es. All right. So basically, when it comes to having one or more, right, or referring to one or more, let's say subject specifically, here we also use the correct subject or verb, right? I remember we said that the singular subjects, their verbs does not, their verb ends in s and es. And in the plural subjects, adds in s and es. All right, let's go to our test. We need to complete the sentence with the best subject. Holds my hand when we close the street. So, holds my hand when we cross the street. Do we say dad holds my hand when we cross the street or my brothers? Holds. So, which means that we're going to say dad holds my hand. So, dad. We need to complete the subject with the best. We need to complete the sentence with the best subject. Likes our dog Lola a lot. Do we say Seth and Emily likes our dog Lola for a little? So likes our dog Lola a lot. Say my friend likes our dog Layla a lot. All right. We need to complete the sentence with base verb. John and Logan do cleans the house on Saturdays, or do they clean the house on Saturdays? So John and Logan, do we clean the house on Saturday or clean? So we can say clean. So clean. So Colton. So we need to select or complete the sentence with the best subject. Is it the boys' camp in the background or Carlton camp camp in the background? So camp in the backyard. So we can say maybe the boys they camp in the backyard. The boys. So the boys they camp in the backyard. All right. So now we're going into pronoun verb agreement. This is now our last lesson. Pronoun verb agreement. And remember we said that the subject and the verb needs to agree. So we need to complete the sentence with this pronoun, right? So instead of saying the person name, we can either say you, me, I, he, she, it, or they, right? So you can use those words. So now we need to find the best subject pronoun. Feel the goose some corn. Feed the goose some corn. So feed the goose some corn. All right, so which means that we are going to choose we feed the goose some corn. So we. So we feed the goose some corn. And remember we said with subject pronoun, We use words like he, she, it to name a person or specifically one person because they are singular. So the subject and the verb in a sentence, it needs to agree. And there we already have our very first subject pronoun. So they the bed. So they the bed. We need to select the best verb. Let's just say they wet the bed. Wet sounds a bit right. Wet the bed. And that is a verb. And that's the best possible version word that we could think of. They wet the bed. So yeah, we need to complete the sentence with the base subject pronoun. Throw the ball to Julia. So throw the ball to Julia. So if we select the subject pronoun, then we can say so we say he instead of his name. And that is why it is a pronoun. So he throw. If it is throw, then it should be more than one person. So we can say they throw the ball to Julia. So they is showing that it is one. All right, so grade 2, that is now the end of our lesson on irregular, on pronoun verb agreement, right? And we said with pronoun verb agreement, we have either singular subject or we have a basically we have a singular subject or we have a plural subject, right? And singular subjects, it refers to one person, animal, place, or thing, and plural subjects refers to more than one person, animal, places, or thing. And the subject and the verb, it needs to agree. But that's the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade twos. You should have a good day further. Goodbye. All right, so that is the end of our lesson. Goodbye.